Welcome to another edition of Comics Connects. I'm joined today by Stefan Pieters from Progress ShareFile. Can you start by giving us a quick overview of your role and what you're seeing is driving innovation across regions?
My role at Progress is I lead a team of very wonderful pre-sales and customer success engineers, and we're responsible as a team for the EMEA and Asia Pacific regions. As for things that are driving innovation, the first thing is fairly undeniably the AI. I was going to say hype, but there's for sure pretty much it's on every customer's mind. So AI is a very big driver, of course. Then again, I also see changing regulations and certifications as a driver for innovation sometimes.
From your perspective, what are the biggest challenges that organizations are facing today in both managing and securing their data?
Right, those two things are definitely also challenges. Customers having to adhere to newer rules designed to protect businesses and consumers. And also developments in AI also mean it's easier for criminals or corporate espionage to take place.
A big topic is artificial intelligence. We all know it's a big buzzword, there's lots of hype around it, but it's reshaping how teams are thinking about work. So how is Progress ShareFile leveraging artificial intelligence integrations to simplify workflows and enhance productivity?
There's several ways. So with all these developments in AI, our customers expect something from us, of course, and we also expect it from ourselves, but we're very careful in how we implement AI in our product because we definitely have a reputation to protect when it comes to security, and we don't want any data to leak through AI, and especially generative AI sometimes can have that tendency. So there are several ways, though, that we're implementing this. So we're making it faster to work with documents through document summarization and request lists and those kinds of features. And we're also using AI to actually make it more secure through, for example, our new Secure Share Recommender feature, which is actually something that customers have talked to me a lot about in the past years when they said, well, how can I make my people, my employees, how can I prevent them from making sometimes even silly mistakes that can lead to unsecure situations? We're also going to be using it to improve our search, but all the while making sure that this is thoroughly tested first, and to make sure that no data gets leaked, of course.
What are some of the real-world use cases where AI-driven automation or robotic process automation is already transforming document-heavy processes for customers?
In legal and real estate, the document summarization is very popular. And the request list feature and the generative AI that we use to make that easier is very big, we find, in accounting and finance, but also in healthcare. So there's a fairly broad number of verticals that have different use cases for those different features.
Data security and governance has really become central to the way that every IT strategy should be working. So how is ShareFile helping customers not only maintain control over sensitive content, but how are you helping to manage the increased data sprawl that is in organizations today?
That's definitely a delicate balance, and one that we're taking a fairly conservative approach to. Having said that, we've already incorporated a lot of AI features, but we're definitely not stopping there. We do have a reputation to protect, and that's extremely important to us.
How does ShareFile balance AI innovation with data privacy and governance, particularly when customers are integrating with tools such as Microsoft 365 and Copilot?
Very good question, and one that I get a lot. So ShareFile, from the very moment it was founded, it was never just about storage, right? And we know that things like OneDrive is a very efficient way to provide storage. And you see that in the product itself and also in the choices that we offer. So ShareFile being more about the functionality of what you actually do with those files is much more about the actual, about collaboration and all those kinds of things. So the choices that we offer also, you see that in the product in terms of where those files can be stored. It can be stored on premises, managed by the customer or managed by trusted partners such as yourself. We do also offer Progress managed storage as an option, but we even include connectors to existing places where data is stored already to make sure that you can just aggregate all that data and collaborate and use it and share it externally and internally if you need. And also there has been an evolution from enterprise file sync and share to things like integrated e-signatures that we offered in Progress ShareFile, things like automated workflows and client onboarding and a projects feature. And we're aiming that at specific verticals. So that adds a tremendous value together with and on top of Microsoft 365.
For organizations heavily invested in Microsoft 365, where does Progress ShareFile add unique value beyond native file storage or sharing capabilities?
Customers tend to choose ShareFile a lot due to increased security measures and capabilities, and something that is very closely related. I mean, we have all the bank level encryption and all those things. We go a long way in terms of security. I would also say that compliance is very closely related. We provide insight into exactly what is happening with the data in the organization, and it allows customers to easily report on this, which can be at least as important to them.
How does the Progress ShareFile platform complement and extend that Microsoft ecosystem?
This essentially has been our core business for the last 20 years, and we're proud to include the latest security features and capabilities to enable our customers to meet those requirements, right?
Can you share an example where a customer's used ShareFile to streamline a complex business process end to end?
There are actually multiple customer stories, but the most interesting one that I thought of right away is the story about actually an Australian customer called Ends Up. They were having difficulties with SharePoint being blocked by some firewalls and things like that. And they needed to adhere to regulations, some strict regulations. We're dealing with healthcare here, which has very sensitive data. And they ended up using ShareFile to achieve the goals that they needed to achieve, right? And the interesting side aspect to me about that particular customer is that those physicians actually work together with people in the Netherlands, which is where I'm based.
How does Progress ShareFile approach being a solution-focused platform rather than just a file-sharing tool?
Right, so that's a fair question, and there are several ways actually. So we integrate with things like Windows Explorer and Outlook and some other Microsoft technologies to add things like e-signature and approval workflows and more secure sharing, more visibility. So that's one way. And we also aggregate both on-premises customer managed storage, sometimes file servers, and cloud storage for customers that are required to manage their own storage or are going through a short or long-term migration. So we provide value in several different ways.
Could you give me a little peek into the Progress ShareFile product roadmap and where the key innovation areas are going to be over the next 6 to 12 months?
As you might expect, since Progress is a publicly listed company, it doesn't allow me to provide specific dates or anything. But sure, I love talking about the direction that we're going. So you can expect us to further strengthen our solutions. Of course, that verticalization is very important. But I would say the next year or so, you're also going to see us paying specific attention to the international markets, which is of course near and dear to my heart. And we'll also be able to deliver some features and improvement to I would say the core enterprise file sync and share aspect of ShareFile that customers and partners have been asking for. So there's some very, very exciting things coming, and we'll definitely in the very near future even see some improvements and new features. And those improvements and new features actually come pretty much on a weekly basis, which is another reason that ShareFile is a hybrid cloud service, right? I still explain this to some customers sometimes, that there are some customers that are asking about having the whole thing on premises, and that's just something that we can't do because of this reason, that we provide updates and new features every week, so we can't ask customers and partners to update their local systems every week, right? That's just simply not doable for most customers.
There are many collaboration and content management tools on the market. So why do you think that customers should choose Progress ShareFile today?
Right, and that's a great question. I get that often. So there are many different tools. Most of them, I would say, started out from selling cloud storage and adding enterprise file sync and share on top of it. So I think we're pretty unique in terms of at the time we started, there were already hundreds of those types of vendors. But our founders really centered around the actual act of what you do, the functionality of collaboration, the functionality, the actual thing you want to achieve with sharing files internally and externally. So that shows through in the product and the choices that we make. It sometimes shows in very, very seemingly small details in the usability of the product. And so with all those different tools that sometimes customers choose, we're able to replace sometimes 5, 10, 20 of those different apps by aggregating all that functionality together into one Progress ShareFile product.
Finally, Stefan, if you could sum up ShareFile's mission in just one sentence for any business leaders watching, what would it be?
So I would say it's our mission to make it easier, faster, and more secure for our customers to do business with their customers.
Stefan, thanks so much for joining me today, my friend. Great to catch up, and we really appreciate the partnership and work that we do together with the Progress ShareFile team.